Collaboration is many types, right?
Well, this is collaboration.
It is. We are collaboration.
We are
Collaborate.
collaboration. Bella is also collaboration, I think.
Mm,
Well, I mean, collaboration, and you know this, like no other collaboration is always very central to the work I do
yeah,
with people in trying to, come together to share
yeah.
our collective knowledge with our collective audiences.
I Collaboration, I think, has evolved for me.
Mhm.
I I place different meaning on collaboration than I used to, having gone through, I guess, a collaboration that wasn't successful, and I've had a couple with clients that haven't got to the end result that we both hoped for. I see collaboration with clients. I don't. I kind of see it as a partnership that we're trying to, get to the end of something together, more than, they tell me what to do and I do it.
Yeah,
Um, but I also value collaboration so much for my own work environment. So I'm much better at working with people than on my own. And
yeah,
I know people that are brilliant at, they get everything together on their own. They then build the teams and off they go. Um, I've tried that and I didn't enjoy it because there's a different dynamic that you have with the team than in a collaboration. And I
yeah.
think that's the difference that we're probably looking for in terms of how we see what collaboration is for us.
Well, and I think as well, like for me, I think co-creation and collaboration
Mm.
are obviously sort of two sides of the same medal. But I I am good at a lot of things, but I'm not good at everything.
Mhm.
And so having other people to to round out the skill set is
Yeah.
important. But it's also, getting input, having people to bounce ideas off of without there being the immediate. There's so many aspects to it. It's accountability. It is having people to just bounce ideas off of. It
Yeah.
is relying on each other's skill set. It is also if I'm ill, because we've been in that situation where I was ill and stuff just kept on happening because you could do it.
Yeah.
You could take over because we'd gotten it to a point where you could just take what I had done and take it the final bit, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think as solo entrepreneurs, like all that alone time that we spend at our desk is, isn't always the most productive or effective.
Yeah.
And so having other people around with whom we can also like it's nice that it's not all on my shoulders all the
Yeah.
time.
But I
I
think
can we can share the load a little bit, and that
yeah,
is just so nice.
there's I guess
Oh,
there's some
what are we
caveats.
doing?
Oh, off she goes. There's some caveats of collaboration though. Um, I mean, I think we were very clear with each other on what we wanted out of collaboration. We do have financial input into how the collaboration works. We also
Mhm.
have time input. So, between the three of us for setting up shop with Tony, we know that that collaboration partnership is different to the one we have with the bespoke book
Yes.
because when it's courses based, like what we're doing and setting up shop, a lot more of that time's going to be with me for the videoing and for you with the writing than it is with Tony. And we
Yeah.
all knew that up front. So
Yeah.
we knew what the financial breakdowns were going to be, and then the expectations of how it evolved were very clear at the start. And I believe that people go into collaboration without discussing those things. They don't have an exit plan. It's winging it a bit, and I think that's the
Yeah.
problem where it's
And I think like often people assume they're on the same page without actually articulating whether they are.
yeah,
And so and that is important. And one of the things I remember, we were interviewed about our collaboration at some point, and one of the things we said as well is like do something low stakes first,
Yeah.
right? Like just see if it works. See if you get on. See if what you're feeling during the initial, meeting each other, getting to know each other, if it's sustainable, if it works when you're trying to put things together, when you're, I was collaborating with people for a while within my business, and it completely crumbled because the way that we worked didn't line up. Like I couldn't figure out the systems they like to work in, and they couldn't figure out the systems that I like to work in, and we had different ideas about what deadlines meant.
Hmm.
Oh, that was spicy. Um,
Needed to be said.
oh,
But it's a valid,
right.
very valid point. Is if you say we're going to do something and then someone goes, "Oh, I just didn't have the time, so I'm going to do it next week," and it's like that has a knock-on effect of the collaboration, of your expectations, and of, essentially the deliverability of something between people.
Yes, especially when it refers to client work. But
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
I'm over it. No, but it's, this is when, we played around a lot in the early stages of setting up shop,
Mm.
which was good because it meant that we could test how our communication and set up systems,
Mhm.
um, and see what worked and what didn't work, and assess whether our values were aligned,
Yeah.
which all of which is so important. And you can't do that when the stakes are immediately high.
True. Yeah. And there's difference between collaboration and affiliation.
Yes.
And it's more one way. So if you do something for someone, they're going to give you one thing back and that's it. So a lot of the times we talk about collaboration, it really is an affiliation relationship because there's no equal investment. So an
And there's
affiliation,
not really co-creation.
no, no, not at all. And I mean, financial or no financial, like that's a quid pro quo, perhaps.
Yes.
So you're looking at different levels. So, collaboration will be financially motivated. There's going to be something that will be brought through that will be needed to be financially split or, managed. Um, there's going to be other layers of collaboration that, sometimes when someone says, well, for me, for instance, oh no, for Bespoke Book actually, we have an affiliate program where if someone introduces us to someone who buys the program, then we'll give them a bit of money back.
Yes.
There's no collaboration there between us and them. They're not telling us how to run the bespoke book. All they're doing is showing someone what we offer, and then we're giving them a financial return on that. So when you're looking at collaboration, I think you also need to be clear of what the goal is of the collaboration. We saw that as a program that requires both of us, but then we had a very honest conversation about how much time we could effectively give the program, and it's like, so we made decisions on our availability to deliver that,
Yeah.
and then we said, well, if we can't do it this way, what is the alternative? And I think that was quite important as well to know where the line was, because of course I was like, right, we've got to do all this stuff in the bespoke book, and you went, well, yeah, but and so I
Yeah.
think people, they underestimate the time they need to invest, and then they overestimate what they're getting out of it, because
Yeah.
it's not going to produce, a 1 million euro business just because you've got a couple of people collaborating. It needs a lot of work, a lot of patience, and a lot of communication
And
throughout.
the collaboration needs input. The team needs
Yeah.
input. You need to do things out with the project that you're working on to build and continue to build the bonds that hold that collaboration together, right? Like it's because now suddenly it's teamwork.
Mm,
And and so you need to invest in the team
yeah.
as well as the business. Um, And sometimes that means having difficult conversations, and sometimes it means having easy conversations. And sometimes it means having cake and sending pictures to the third collaborator who is not in the country and
Oh,
can't join you for cake and make them feel awful about it.
no guilt
But
whatsoever.
it's developing the running gags and that takes time, right? Like that's not an overnight thing. That is building relationships. And I think that we like when people talk about collaboration, they often think about the teamwork and the co-creation and not about we're building a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's important to
Mhm.
build the relationship and give the relationship some time to develop before we add stakes.
Yeah. And our
Because it's like we don't if someone proposes marriage on the first date, you'd say no because that's an insane notion, right? So why do we think that in that proposing a business affiliation or a business collaboration rather,
Mhm.
because we just we're bringing money into this
Yeah.
from the get-go, like that that's maybe not the best plan. Like first have some fun, go on some dates.
Yeah. Try out a few different things. But I think when you hear about collaborations that have broken down, like the really big ones,
Mhm.
um, maybe Musk and Trump might be a one to.
I mean, let's not even go there, but sure.
Why did that pop into my head? But it's you were on a parallel goal, and then something happened, and you diverted. It happens. I think it's the point of at diversion. Is it good to stay together, or do you need to split up and then go your separate ways? Like I think
Again,
also.
marriage.
I think people are too scared to say out loud that what the direction is isn't what they want. And this is where I have my problems. It's like we were turning into a networking business, which we weren't. And I was like, we're it's I guess you're sort of going down two completely different paths. And it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Where did we miss where did we miss this happening? And sometimes you don't see it happening until you've already gotten to the point where you're like, oh, we're way further apart than I expected. And I think that's where, as you using your marriage analogy, divorce happens and the divorce gets nasty.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's like but again, like it's important to express expectations, to
Mm,
check in regularly when we're developing new avenues of within the collaboration. Have that conversation, check back into what is our main goal, what is our main values, like does this align with not just who I am as a person, but who we are as a group.
mhm.
And it complicates those moments of making choices, but it also but then the reward can be so much bigger,
Yeah.
right?